everyone, and welcome to AvaTrade live Q&A webinar. My name is Daniel. I will be giving you the webinar today. Before we will begin, hello Tobias. Okay, before we will begin, good to see you, James. I would like to go through a quick check to make sure that the sound is working properly and that obviously the chart here is visible. So let me just see it on my end. Okay, seems like it's working fine. If people can please comment in the question section that the sound is okay and you can see the screen. Let me bring a chart here. Okay, then we can begin. That can be great. Okay, that's good. That's good. So as I said, this is a live Q&A webinar, which means that you can ask questions about basically anything that you would like to know. I will do my best to give you an answer for all of your questions. It doesn't need to be in a certain order or only when I ask. That's a different kind of webinar. You can ask whatever you want anytime and I will address it accordingly. The way that this webinar is going to happen is, firstly, we will have some previous questions. This is the agenda. So we have some common questions from other webinars that the team has prepared. Those questions here. And then we're going to have the dynamic questions, which are questions, as I've explained, from the audience. Then I'm going to share with you some links and information, webinar privileges, and lastly, the analysis. We'll have it a quick discussion about it, only if time will allow us, and if we're not going to have questions about analysis. Even though, okay, so we have questions about analysis, but still maybe on a nutshell at the end. And that's it. Okay, so let me just say before we will begin that the webinar is recorded, so it's pretty popular that people can't see the whole thing, or maybe they just need to see it again for some reason, another time, the explanations or whatever you want, just another reason to see it again. So for your convenience, the webinar will be uploaded to YouTube later on to our channel. You just need to search AvaTrade on YouTube and you should be there. Okay, so it's important to know that any capital markets and trading information disclosed in this webinar is provided for informative purposes only and should not be constructed or applied as an investment advice, recommendation, or a suggestion. Okay, so because this webinar is recorded, it's probable that I'll make a quick check, a few seconds, and then we will begin. Thank you very much. I'll be right back. It seems that I accidentally, instead of switching the, there we go. Is it back up again? Thank God. Okay, so like I said, I accidentally, instead of switching the screens, apparently I turned it off, and everything seems in order. So we're just gonna simply begin. Like I said, this is a live Q&A webinar. My name is Danny. Feel free, and we will take off with the first segment. So the common questions that we have are, how can I choose a good asset to trade? Okay, how can I withdraw my profits? That's an important one. How can I get a senior account manager? Okay, who is a senior account manager? How to do fundamental analysis? Okay, how does the leverage works? Okay, pretty simple. All of those questions are pretty straightforward. I find no difficulties. We can just begin with the first. How can I choose a good asset? Okay, but I can connect the first and the last. Let's just try to do it step by step, and then perhaps we'll have an answer for the last question as well. Okay, where is our chart? Okay, we're gonna paste the question from here down here. How can I choose a good asset to trade? Okay, so first of all, let me ask you guys, what exactly is a good asset to trade? What makes the difference between a good asset to less preferred asset, if I may say that? I don't want to say bad asset, but okay, so what's the difference between, if I want to, as an example, to look at NASDAQ versus you know what, let's take something even more valuable. Okay, so this is Dow Jones, this is US indice. What do you think? Is that a good asset for me to trade? The cost here is 32,900, almost 33. Let's see if it has any potential getting there. It's been there. Apparently, it's been there just yesterday, right? Even today, I believe it's been there also today. Yeah. Okay, so is that a good asset for me to trade? Look at my balance. The first thing that I'm going to do to judge if this asset is good for me or not is if I can trade it. So I'm going to make comparison between my budget. My budget is 10,000 in balance, $10,000. Okay, and the asset has a price per unit, okay, which has a cost. Later on, we're going to call it the value. So for instance, let's just go with if one lot equals, oh, that's going to make us going to give us a hard time. So we better stick with NASDAQ. That's a little easier. Then I can explain about the leverage at the same time. Okay, so every asset has a cost, right? The cost per 1 unit. So if I'm going to take 0.01 and one lot is 100, so 1% of 100 is 1. Let me just repeat that one more time. Lot is a measuring unit, and that means that one lot equals 100, half a lot equals 50, 10% of a lot equals 10, and 1% equals 1. Okay, this way obviously 30% is 30 and 70% is okay. In this case, if I'll just take 1 unit, I can acknowledge the price as its own. I don't need to multiply that by anything. But hypothetically, if I would want to take 5, I would need to multiply whatever the price per unit by the 5. Okay, so for instance, 14,000 multiplied 5 is 71,000. Still, the platform, what's so unique about this platform is it does, to my beliefs, 70% of the calculations you need to do with MT4 or MT5, it does it by itself. As you can see here, everything is very simplified and convenient. Okay, but still, we're going to do this because this is a webinar and it's supposed to be educational. We're going to do it manually as well. So 5 multiply. Okay, so that's to get to the value, right? What it says here, value of the position in your account currency. Okay, but what it actually means is 5 multiply 14,328. So that's that figure. Okay, so that's the value is 71,000. Let's say, you know what, let's go with the round number, 71,500. Okay, it seems like it keep on bouncing. Just want to have a figure to rely on. So that's 5. Oh, sorry. We said that we're gonna go with 1. So we'll have it in with 1, and then perhaps we'll have another example. So the price stays as it is. Okay, maybe this way. And the value stays the same. Okay, but still we're gonna have the equation here. Multiply units, okay? Now, because this is the price and I am with 10,000, so I won't be able to take this position because I don't have enough money. Is that correct? But because we are providing this platform, we're also providing the leverage. Leverage allows you, let me put it down, the leverage here is 1 to 20, and what it does is it lets you buy or sell more with the same balance, right? Let you buy or sell more units even, I could say that. Lets you buy or sell more units with the same balance. Okay, so that means that my balance, my 10,000 will behave as if I had, now that has a, that thing has a rule here. Okay, so I just, it's not a loan that I can just do whatever I want with 200,000. No, this is a leverage that I've been given, especially for NASDAQ and especially for this particular position. Now, that requires me to have some collateral, some requirement to open to take this position. Now, that is called margin. So margin impact or margin requirement, that means that I have to comply to 20% if I'll divide whatever the value is by 20. Okay, so that means that this is what I'm supposed to have in my margin, which in this case is 5%. So whatever amount that I have, let's say it's 50, I can divide the value by that, by the leverage. Leverage can be different. Now it's 1 to 20 and could be different, could be 1 to 10. Oh, this is also 20. Let's try crude oil. 1 to 10. Okay, or with certain things. Just a second. Okay, even less. You see, 1 to 5. So in this case, what we understand is that leverage can change. Okay, it can change, and I need to divide whatever amount I have, this 14,000, I can divide it by 20. And then this is the true amount that I need, which, like I said, is 5% out of that. Okay, I don't want to make anything complicated, so we're just gonna understand that the equation here is value divided by leverage equals the margin impact, which in this case, like we see, is just 700 and something, right? So 14,000 divided by 20 equals, let me just put it in a separated row, otherwise this might confuse us, right? Okay. Now, when we have that, we can understand that budget-wise, we are okay. Budget-wise, we are okay. I'm not even gonna speak about risk money management and analysis at this point. That's not it's not related to the budget part. The budget part is just to make sure that we have enough money. And then there are more things. There are risk money management, and there is how much this asset is capable of moving. Because for instance, if I have those 10,000 and I have other positions, and I'm planning to go with NASDAQ for a week, right? Okay, and I have a certain goal to make, let's say, $1,000 in a week, right? Goal to make $1,000 in a week with NASDAQ, right? That's part of a plan that I made and so on. What I'm going to do is I'm going to see that, let's suppose that NASDAQ is now here, 14.3. And I believe that it's heading towards, let's say, $100 up, right? Okay, which, oops, apparently that might be difficult to show you guys, but still I'm going to try. Let's just change it manually. If something that I'm doing is not understood, just ask. Okay, I don't want people to be confused because I'm doing things briefly. This is not a beginner's webinar, so I'm doing things a little fast. Something is not clear, so please let me know. Yeah, Apparently it's gonna be a bit difficult to show it to you guys, but I'm gonna, like I said, I'm gonna try and do my best. How is it here? Is it gonna show it to us? $100 up is a complicated figure to show. We're gonna keep it 50. Okay, we're gonna imagine as if we're planning to go $50 up. Okay, so $50 up from 14.330 to it's 14.380. Okay, I guess that is going to move this way. And what I'm going to check beside the budget, that the asset is capable of moving this much. If it can move 50, logically I'll need 20 units. I'm going to use take profit here. Just on a nutshell, take profit is going to close my position with the profit if it gets there, and then I can accomplish 1,000. The problem is, if you remember, a minute ago I just explained to you that this is the figure that I must comply to. Okay, so yeah, 1 unit, 700, sure. But if I have 1 unit and it moves 50, I'm going to make 50 and not 1,000. So to make 1,000, I need 20 units. Is in this case, Nasdaq, is it still a good asset for me to trade? For this goal that I stated, for this plan that I have, can it be the asset for me to trade? No. Okay. Can you please explain why no? We have Mike here is saying that apparently it's not a good asset for me to trade. Mike, do you have an explanation why is that asset doesn't fit to what I want to achieve? Because I don't have the money. That's very correct. Okay. Okay. What if let's try it this way. Okay. Look, even if I minimize that by half to 10, and then I'm gonna make 500 and not 1,000, so that might not be my asset. Okay. How can I judge whether an asset is good or not? That I have the money and it can help me achieve what I want to achieve without using all of my margin. And to be honest, on a single position to make 500 with 10K, 7,000 is 70% that I must have. Okay, that means that I can't even have two positions like this. Maybe this way. That one I can. Okay, never mind. So the idea is that first I'm checking the budget, then I'm seeing if it fits to my plan. That's what I would define a good asset to trade with. There are at least another 7 things that you can qualify an asset, whether if it's good or not. Again, good is a matter of point of view, right? It's objective. So at the moment, I'm just comparing what I think it's the basics, but other people can choose other criteria. Okay, I think this can help. So check the budget. The answer to that is check the budget and check the budget, and if second thing will be if the asset fits to your plans, right? If it's in the budget and it fits to the plans, so it's a good beginning. I can say if it's good or not, but it's at least those checkings can indicate if it's possible or not, right? That's the answer. Okay, the second thing is how can I withdraw my profit? So guys, I'm gonna turn off the screen for a second because I gotta change from the demo here to a real account to show you. Just a moment. Are there any questions, by the way? Anything that was not clear or anything that needs to be What are the units and how they are connected to currency? That's a good question coming from Kasey Gabre. Let me put your question down. Just a second. How do I gonna make it black somehow? Okay, is it maybe that? Okay, thank you for the how. What are the units? Okay, that's pretty okay. Okay, do we have any other questions, by the way? Oh, sorry, I'm not showing you the screen, but you will see in a moment that I pasted the question. Thank you for the question. Let me just first finish the first one, and then we can carry on with ease. Okay, I'm on the real account. Let's see that it's working. Sorry guys, my computer was not made by NASA. Otherwise things could have happened faster, so sometimes we have to be patient. Okay, there we go. Now let's begin from the beginning. I hope that at this point everybody can see my screen, right? Can everybody see my screen here? Can everybody see the screen here that I'm clicking at right now? There is a question here. I'm a beginner. Can you please explain how to start trading? That's a good question. I should also paste it here. Can everybody see the screen, please? I want to carry on. I'm not sure because it shows like it's okay. I had a feeling. That it's not. Just a second. I'll try it again. How is it now? How is it now, guys? Can you see my screen? It should work because it works on my end. I'm seeing my chart. Can everybody see the screen here? Thank God. Okay. Okay. So how to withdraw, right? What was the question here? How can I withdraw my profits? Okay, regardless the profits or not, this is a lovely question, but it doesn't really matter if it's profits or not. The way that you withdraw is super simple, and I'm going to show it to you. It shouldn't take more than 10 seconds. Please watch. All I have to do, okay, I'm going to click three things. I'm going to click on the three blue lines at the left upper corner, click it, and then I'm going to click withdraw. There you go. We're going to have to give it a second. Okay, then there should be a few things. You see? Okay, so that's how it looks. Now I can choose which one I want. So for instance, I like to use wire transfer. It just makes things easier for me. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the amount here, beneficiary name, bank name, address, and the IBAN, and everything needs to be the same way that I've deposited with. There is no possibility to deposit from A and withdraw to B from simple reasons, which I'm not going to explain, which is pretty logic. Okay, and then I'm going to click here next. But of course, if everything is filled completely, it's not going to complain. It's not going to complain with this message, right? It's just going to let me through, and I should receive it in a few days. Yeah, so that's basically about the withdrawal. Are there any questions about that? So I'm going to put here click. So the first step is going to be click on the 3 blue lines and then click on withdrawals. And then, yeah, just pick a method. That's more or less what needs to be done. Yeah, how do I make it smaller? How can I get a senior account manager? Guys, this became more and more popular since we started explaining about senior account managers. Those are individuals that we assign on your file to let you enjoy our services in a more efficient way with the guide through a little more professionally. Let's paste it here. Okay, so to get a senior account manager, let me switch back to the demo. I'm sorry, guys. This is just for the webinar. Please, I hope it's going to happen faster. Okay. Guys, please tell me that you can see my screen and we're not having the same issue as before. You should see my screen. Okay, so how can I get a senior account manager? Guys, a senior account manager, what he is doing in the company is giving support and assistance for beginners and for also other clients, and you can ask him all kind of questions just as you are asking me through this webinar, just in a little more personal level. So for instance, who asked me about, there was a question here, right? I'm a beginner. Can you please explain how to start trading? Okay, so an account manager, a senior account manager, he can assist you with getting started, establishing a plan, making a strategy, finding a good asset, all of those things a senior account manager is professional with, and you should definitely use it because other companies don't do that anymore. Yeah, so a senior account manager, how do I find myself an account manager? All I have to do, again, this is 3 things that I'm going to click. First, I'm going to click on the chat. Actually, I'm not going to click it. I'm just pointing with my hand. And then I click chat with us. And what I'm going to ask is, can I get a senior account manager? That's all I have to do to ask for a senior account manager. Of course, my account must be activated and I have to make a deposit. And then I'll have this individual to assist me along my journey. Okay, so the steps are, I just realized, guys, that for people who don't know this interface, maybe I should also, okay. For people who don't know this interface, I just take it as an obvious thing. To get to here, whether if it's for the withdrawal, whether if it's for a senior account manager, whether if it's just for yourself to see things here, there are lovely, lovely things using this platform other than MT4 and MT5. All you have to do to enjoy all of that is to log in to AvaTrade with your email and password. That's all. After you've done that, you're supposed to see it this way. Okay, this is through the browser. It's not something you must download or anything like that. It's skipped my mind because, again, I'm looking at it all day. But I just remember that people need sometimes to know they must log in. How can I get? So all I have to do is contact CS via the chat or email, which is cs@avatrade.com, and ask for assignment. Okay, let's paste the answer here. Okay, for some reason, we must also get this thing a little smaller. How to do fundamental analysis, right? So regarding the leverage, guys, we've explained about that. How does the leverage work? It works that leverage is a multiplier, and it lets you buy or sell more quantities with the same balance. Yeah, that's basically the definition for that, but the explanation I already showed on the chart. How to do, I don't like the way that they have put it, but okay, you know what, let's keep it this way. More how does fundamental analysis works, but I guess that this is the question, so we're just gonna answer as it is. How can I do fundamental? And that makes more sense. Okay, guys, there are two kinds of analysis. They are technical and fundamental. Guys, I'm going to ask you a question that's going to blow your mind. What is more important to focus as a beginner? Even I want people who are more intermediate to maybe even experienced. Let's suppose that I'm a beginner. Right now, I want to start analyzing my things, not just gamble. What is more important? To put effort and time into technical or to fundamental analysis? What do you think? Technical or fundamental? To begin with. At the end, we need them both. It's not a secret. There is no need to, to go around the bush. But what is more important to begin with? Okay, so Tobias here wrote technical. Sheila also technical, okay. What else? Jeffrey, also technical. Okay, what about fundamental analysis, guys? Don't you think that it's important? Let's understand what it means. Technical analysis equals information inside the charts. Okay, that means, oh, there we go. Who's Marian? You're the only one with fundamental analysis. Anybody else thinks that fundamental analysis is more important to begin with than technical? Okay, that's fair enough. Georgina also fundamental, very nice, very nice. It seems like the ladies here like the fundamentals, fundamental analysis more. Okay, let's understand the difference. Fundamental analysis. Oh, sorry. Let me just explain. Formation inside the charts. That means averages and levels. And what else? Averages and levels, those are the main things that we usually deal with. And we have other, let's call it ranges. Okay, we have also consolidation and things like that. There are more things, but this is basically technical. Fundamental, who can tell me what is fundamental analysis? Who can tell me? Guys, what do you think that is fundamental analysis? Exactly. News. Okay, what else? Articles, okay. Actually, articles and news are okay. Okay, let's agree that this is information that is outside the charts, such as news, right? Could be events, could be articles, could be a lot of things. Now, I asked you a tricky question. What is more important when they are both equal on the scale, right? Why they are equal on the scale? Why do I need to know them both equally? What do you think? Oh, what a lovely question by Sharon. Danny, will the interest rate stay the same? Okay, this is exactly what I meant. I don't know if you're asking that question because you want to ask that question, or you're asking that question because this is what I'm asking. First, let me paste your question here because that one is a lovely one. Okay, how do I do that? There we go. Okay. 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 Now, Sharon, you have great timing. The reason that you have great timing is what is the interest rate? How does the interest rate has any connection to what I'm explaining? I just explained that technical analysis is averages, level, ranges, okay. And fundamental analysis, information, news, events, and articles. How Sharon's question is related to what we're talking about now. The interest rate, how is that related to fundamental analysis? Right? Guys, how does that work? The interest rate and what's the story with the interest rate? Okay, let's understand that as we go. Fundamental analysis, as it's written here, that means that to do fundamental analysis, I'm not just looking at the chart and understanding how the asset is moving, I'm also understanding why it's moving. And I'm trying to figure, for instance, for looking at where is gold, commodities, metals. Okay, if I'm looking at the gold has tendency, I think we spoke about it yesterday, to respond to what the dollar is doing, to what the economy is doing. And tomorrow we're going to have the non-farming payroll. Okay, but there is a question here by Sharon. Let's see, there is based on the latest news about specific instrument. That's correct. Thank you. So what that means is fundamental analysis wise, okay, we're going to watch as an example the non-farming payroll. And we will see that if the non-farming payroll, if there are more jobs added to the economy, more jobs added, so that's good for the economy, and we should expect the dollar to respond positively, going up, right? Now, if the dollar is going up, as we, again, this is only an estimation, but if it does, the gold can respond to that. Okay? I'm not going to talk too much about the connection, but who knows the connection between the dollar and the gold? So, okay. Now, how does that has any connection with the interest rate? And to our question, who knows? Let's just paste first of all. We'll paste the answer here because then we can move on. Just gonna make this guy a little smaller. Right, so how does the interest rate has any connection to what I'm explaining? Oh, first there is a question here. What are the units? And well, okay, I'll explain it in a second. Can you explain how to start trading? That's whoever asked this question. You need to give me some direction, because can you explain how to start trading? On a nutshell, you pick an instrument like gold as an example. You click sell or buy, and you go ahead and you sell or buy. But that's just on a nutshell how to start trading. But I guess what you're really asking is what you should be doing. And what you should be doing is make a plan, state goals, find a strategy. Okay, everything that I've explained that could be addressed by a senior account manager. Just make a deposit. Then when you have a senior account manager assigned, you can ask him to assist you with all of those things. Okay, what are the units and how are they connected to the currency? Okay, that's a good question. I'm getting back to the interest rate. I don't want people here to be upset. Sharon, thank you for the question. It just first let's explain those things. So what are the units? Okay, so we'll have this question here, and we will understand. So units, okay, can be stocks or maybe shares. Shares, okay, it could be what else? Could be currencies, could be any kind of units that you ounces, right? Could be barrels. Just a second, barrels. Right, bushels, if it's commodities, and so on and so on. Okay. Those are the units. How are they connected? How are they connected? Okay. We use currencies to buy or sell the units. Okay. So that means that I'm using $10,000. My account is dollar based, could be pound or euro or whatever I want. I'm using the currency that I have to purchase, okay, to sell or buy. I'm taking a position. I'm not really going to get gold. AvaTrade is not going to deliver any gold to my house. Yeah, that's what's going to happen is I'm just trading on the value between the value that gold is measured with by dollars. Okay, I'm just going to trade on its value. Which value? 1967 per ounce per unit. We said that units are ounces, shares, barrels, bushels. Okay, so the units are the quantities that I'm trading with. Those are the sum, the amount. And they're connected because we're using the currencies. We're using, this is dollar base account, so that value is in dollar. If my account would be euro, so that I'll have a euro value, right? Does that make sense? Who asked me this question? Let me scroll up and find you. Oh, Kasai Gabre, right? So Kasai, did you understand what I've explained with the units and with the connection? Of course, that's what I'm here to do. Of course. Of course, I'm happy. I'm happy that I could help. Okay, so let's just, I think we're just gonna paste the whole thing. Just gonna paste the whole thing, and then somehow, how can we There we go. Okay, Sharon, you asked if the interest rate will stay the same. Guys, I'm reverting this question to you. I know it's a bit unfair, but of course I'm not gonna answer this question before I want to see the answers, right? So what do you guys, what do you think, guys? Will the interest rate stay the same, or what do you think? Will it go up or down? I don't know. Everybody in its own region, right? Okay, so I'm just gonna, on a nutshell, I'm just gonna explain. The interest rate has already it's already gone up quite considerably in the past year. I think they have increased it 11 times or 10 times, which is just which is I don't even have a word to describe it, but let's all agree that it's not great, right? But we had to hold back the inflation. Right now we're having serious recession. People are having difficulties with their mortgages and God knows what else because of interest rate has a direct impact for people who need a loan, right? Any kind of a loan. Could be a mortgage, could be just a small one to buy things or whatever. And then the interest rate has a direct impact on all of those. Also, it has collateral impact on other things as a result from that. Because when the interest rate is increased, the loans are, what happens with the loans? What they are becoming? What do you think, guys? When the interest rate is increased, even by a little, what does that mean for loan takers who are based on interest rate? Loans are more expensive, right? Right? They are more expensive. That means that people are now hesitating whether to take a loan or not, right? So if the loans are more expensive and people are taking less loans, what does that mean for the bank? Right? That means that the banks are making less money. The banks are making less money, less currencies are being used from one side, that's stabling the economy, so-called. From the other side, it makes other things to collapse. Okay, so this question is not something that I can answer, Sharon, even if I'll try. Okay, we'll have to wait until the next decision and we'll see. I can just say that I'm gonna say it very carefully because I don't want anybody to be upset. But I understood that right now is in a level that it's decent. It's not great. It's not too bad. Of course, that for people, if you'll ask people that are, part of the economy, they're going to tell you it's not great. And but at the end of the day, from my understanding and what I've seen on the news, right now is a level that we can maintain. Okay. Of course, I can't guarantee anything to this way or another. Yeah. So thank you for the question. What is the minimum deposit that we need to put in order to see a senior account manager? I believe it's maybe 500 quid or 1,000. I can't be too sure. We have a registration agent for that, but try and make a deposit. Make a deposit, then go to the customer service, ask a senior account manager. See if you get one. Or maybe they can tell you you'll need to add more, or God knows. Shouldn't be too much from what I remember. Okay, so thank you for the question and thank you, Sharon. Just before we say goodbye, are there any more questions, guys? Let me just paste your question here quickly. I'm just going to put here that nobody can know. Okay. Unfortunately, right? There are questions that I can answer, and there are questions that are beyond my understanding, my knowledge. Let's say I'm not really sure, but I think it's between 500 to 1,000. You can check. Okay. Yeah. So this is regarding the question. Right now, I'm gonna paste some lovely things here. Is the deposit the cost of the senior account manager? No, 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 absolutely not. What you deposit stays yours. It's in your account. You can do whatever you want with it. You don't, we don't, this service doesn't cost anything. You get an account manager and he's gonna assist you and he's getting paid from the company, not from you. You don't have to pay him anything, okay? Yeah, don't worry. Okay, so regarding, let me just share with you here the nice links. This one is for more education, guys. If you want more videos, more tutorials, it can really be helpful. This one is to really, that's actually pretty good for right now to make a deposit. Whoever asked about the senior account manager, you can use this link. This is for the help center and the FAQ, and that one is for a real account. If you had enough with the demo, so that's for a real account, and that is for the academy. Now I'm going to give you the link here that the code here, to be honest. Okay, there is a code here that you can, this is what, if you give your senior account manager that code, okay, Kasai, then he's going to give you a market review. Okay, this is not something that they have to do, but if you have that code that you have been with me in the webinar, you can ask for a premium market review, and then he's going to sit with you with the charts and he's going to explain to you whatever things you may need. Just a second. After meeting the senior account manager and found out this is trading business is not for me, can I get back my deposit? Absolutely. This is what I've explained here, right? What did I show here on the withdrawal? If you decided it's not for you, so what can you do? You can withdraw. That's why I have showed it. Yeah, this is as easy as it gets. Guys, thank you all for coming. It's been a pleasure. Whoever asked me questions, so I'm happy that I could help. And oh, sorry, I nearly forgot. Why didn't I put here .com? Now it should work, right? Okay, so it's been a pleasure. I wish you all best of luck to make a lot of money. And that's it. Have a beautiful day and a good rest of the week. Thank you so much.